that just stop print, or is it supposed to print line?
No, just system out print. So yeah, we can do print line, but I did print, and I can tell you what the difference is. Or you can. Have you? Did it work?
No, we're trying to figure out what's wrong.
Okay.
Mine didn't work.
Yours didn't work. Why?
Mine's working on stuff.
Mine worked.
Yours working? So help him, help Musa make it work.
How do you make it stop?
Yours work?
Stuff, yeah.
Oh, you
Hmm?
didn't stop?
The printer doesn't stop.
Yeah. Printing is just good. Yeah, very nice. Yeah. All right, but whatever state it may be, and we can look a little bit after that because I want to make sure that we finish, and then if somebody wants to hang out a little bit, that's fine. So what happens is, usually in the loop, for a finite loop, if you want to run it for a finite number of times, you need a variable called loop variable. Using that loop variable, you will make a condition. At some condition, you want to exit the loop. So, in this case, we say int I is equal to 0. I is the loop variable. And the 0 is the initial condition of the loop. And this is the initial state. And then we say while I is less than 100. So from this, and while I is less than 100, it will execute this block. So it's kind of simple. All it's saying that execute this block while over and over, not one time, over and over, while I is 100. But, and then what you do is for each time, you just print one star. If I put a print line here instead of a print, then what happens is that it will write each star in separate line. So it will become 100 lines, one star in each line. So that's the difference between print and print line, right? And then it adds 1 to I. So if you see, there are actually just 4 main things: initial state, test condition, condition modifier, and the while. While, which is saying that it's evaluated. Right? So are you guys getting the concepts of it? You start with a value. You say 5. I'll start with any value. I'll run till this value. And every time I run, I increase 1. So there's nothing automatic here. The only thing that is automatic is while, which is just saying test the condition and execute again. Test the condition, execute again. If you really look at it, while is very similar to if in this case. If condition block, right? It's while condition block. Same thing except one thing. If will definitely run only one time, while can run as long as the condition is true. While will run as long as the condition is true. So very simple. Think about it again. Initial state, test the condition, modify the condition, modify the condition. If I don't modify it for any reason, I forget or something else happens, then this test condition will never go false. And it will become an indefinite kind of situation. And we can run it, it's just that it will not stop. It said output limit reached, because it must have tried it like a couple of million times and then stop. Because it's JDoodle, if you run it on your own system, it can hang it sometimes. So, but a lot of time it will not, but, so the thing is, because you understand what I'm saying, you have a start of, but say I put, instead of I 100, I put it 200, right? It will never even run. because the initial condition is not even true. So it will never even run. So, but if I say put it 95, it runs just 5 times. And things like that. So you understand what I'm saying. It's a finite loop. You want to run it only on this much amount of time. You start an initial condition. You test a condition. You modify that condition. Put a while loop just like you put an if loop. Take care of the syntax and you have a loop. Now this loop allows you to create a mathematical table without writing 10 lines. You can write a mathematical table up to 100 lines, right? Just in the same loop, just change the condition and do it again. So loops are very powerful construct. I'll send you all a little bit more material about loops. But again, loop is basic building block of any programming. Some programming languages make it a little bit simpler. Java has a lot of loop constructs, but theoretically they all do very similar to what this loop does. Do you guys see any benefits of loops? Right. So that's all for today. Sorry for 1 minute late. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we end and we'll do homework. More and more. You know, one of the things that I want to do, and of course it's all voluntary, nobody is being forced to do it,